Okay, so before you personally get started, you want to make sure that you have cleansed your skin, moisturized, cleansed, moisturized, sunscreen, makeup primer. Anything you do before you put on your makeup is what you want to do first before you get started. I've already done that, so I'm just going to kind of jump into the makeup portion. So I lately I've been using this for my skincare. This is the Maybelline Fit Me Matte Poreless Foundation, normal to oily skin. I'm shade 125, and this is a brand new bottle actually. This is my second one, which I actually find is amazing because I normally tend to kind of go back and forth between foundations. I can't make up my mind, and this is the actually first time I've rebought a foundation that I liked like a couple times in a row. So I just put some behind my hand, and then I'm using this. This is 001 from gosh, I can never remember the name of this. It's RT. I got it at Ulta. I always think I'm gonna remember it, but I just don't. But I did get it at Ulta. It's just a foundation brush. And so I'm just going to apply the foundation all over my face and on my lips because I love to do that. And you're going to apply it all over your skin. Make sure you go down the neck because you don't want any sort of your face to get all done up and then have nothing down here. You want to make sure that it's perfectly blended. Kind of go up on your ears too. And you really don't need a whole lot of this actually. That's what I really like about it is I don't need a whole ton. It is supposed to be 100% coverage, I believe. I'd have to look next time I'm at the store to see if it's like underneath the permanent, or not permanent, the full coverage. So it is also matte and refines pores, and I truly do think that it actually does that. I'm really impressed with this foundation. I have used drugstore brands before and I just couldn't find it, but that could have been like the same time that I was kind of like, there's no way I would ever use a drugstore brand when there's other prestige brands that I could be using, and there's no way I would ever find something. And you know, being married and being on a tighter budget because of moving, it's encouraged me to branch out and see what kind of drugstore brands would work for me. And it's actually amazing because I have found a lot of drugstore brands that I'm actually like going back to. So, which I find is interesting because it's just like I remember a couple years ago, you know, like I said earlier, I would never imagine myself going to a drugstore brand and choosing that, and now that's where I go to, and I'm actually preferring those. They're working just as good. They're and this is for makeup, not hair care, because you know I'm a hairdresser, and so I definitely know, I'm educated about products at drugstore brands, but when it comes to makeup, I'm finding that drugstore brands like Maybelline and L'Oreal and all them are, the makeup for me is working just as well, and it's not breaking my bank. So again, I'm saying that it's for skincare or makeup, I should say, and not necessarily hair care, because I know the educational professional value behind that. Anywho's, I can go on and on forever about that. So I'm got all done, and remember, you know, to put down your put it down your neck. I am gonna do a little bit of concealing today because we do want this to last a long time. So this is the Revolution Conceal and Define. This is shade C7. Actually, I should just take the whole wrapper off. I don't know why. C7. And honestly, I could probably go a little bit lighter, but this is what I have. So that's what we're gonna do. and it's really good. I mean, I've tried a couple others, and I think that they work just as good, and this was only like maybe $10 at Ulta. And I know, call me crazy, I'm just going to use this underneath my eyes. You can use a makeup blender. I just don't have one. And personally, I have never used a beauty blender. I think I have once, and all it did was soaked up the product. I did learn later that you can help with the soaking up of the product when you use it damp, which I did not realize. But even then, I find that using the back of my finger is just as good. Okay, so once that is good, and I don't do, for today's look, I'm not doing like up here, your nose, your cupid's bow. I'm not doing anything. This is just how I would do my New Year's makeup. And so then I'm gonna set it by using this Banana Dreams loose powder. This is, yeah, it doesn't come in a color. It's just light. It's face powder. And I'm going to just take my, this is my, gosh, I want to say it's Royal and Lord, but I'm not sure. But it's this, and it's a blush brush, and I just go in with the powder and just set it. Now this stuff, it kind of gets a little flighty, but you can see how it's setting it just fine. And I got this stuff at TJ Maxx about a year ago. So, and I still have a ton of it, and it does the trick for me. Again, I have used other brands that I like too, but this is what I'm using, and I've had it for a while, and so far it works great for me. So I'm going to do some contouring. I'm going to use this Too Faced. This is like a little sample one I got. So it's Too Faced. It's the Chocolate Soleil medium to deep matte bronzer. And you can see I've used a lot of it because you can see it's very well loved. So I'm just going to take this blush brush. I believe I got this in one of those like subscription boxes, but you can find any blush brush anywhere. And I'm just going to stick it in here and do a right kind of, here's my cheekbone. I'm going to do it just like underneath it, kind of on top of it, but mostly underneath it, just so I can really carve out my my cheeks. And although it looks like I'm going down here, I'm really just kind of hitting it right here and just stopping it. We don't need to go all the way down because that's not where it lines naturally. And you just need a little bit. And of course, go down here underneath your jawbone. And I do it up here, just where you would get tanned. That's where I would do it. And of course, down your neck, and maybe to your décolleté, depending on where your shirt's laying that day. Okay, and then after that, I'm going to take the same blush brush, and I have my MAC Warm Soul Mineralize blush, and I've been using this color for a long time too. I love it. It's nice. It's deep and rich and shimmery, which I love shimmer. If I can get it open. What in the world? Of course, I can't get it open while I'm doing a video. Okay. There we go. Okay, so I got it open. As you can see, it's also very well loved. It's a little bit of a glow to it, which I also love. And I'm just going to take it and put it in, you know, swipe it in the product and just do it on my cheekbones. My nose. Just do it on my cheekbones, none of the like swoopy. If you want to, if you're not like filming, obviously, you can just smile and put it on your cheekbones. And I like to put some on my eyes. It's not going to alter the color that we're doing today, but I just like to do it just to give my skin just some warmth to it. And I just put it up here, down here, kind of everywhere that we put the bronzer. I kind of just went over it, of course, emphasizing your cheeks. Okay, so that's pretty much what I would do for my skin. Actually, it is what I would do for my skin, and that's what basically my skincare routine is when it comes to with any sort of makeup I'm doing. This is my foundation, what I do. So we're gonna do the eyes, and of course, remember we contoured, we put that concealer and we put it on our eyes, and so we're kind of already prepped and ready for the eyes. So what I'm gonna do, this is so easy. This is my favorite color right now that I'm doing. This is ColourPop, and this is called Cheap Date, and it is a Super Shock Shadow Ultra Glitter, and it is, I mean, it is amazing. I've had this thing for like a long time, and seriously, I have so much product and I use it just about every day. But what I love about this, it gives that champagne sparkly glow to it without, you know, having the fallout on your cheeks, without it looking too middle school when you're kind of introducing yourself to makeup, and you have all this glitter. And it's just, I want more of an elegant shimmer, not necessarily gaudy. So I'm putting my finger in it just a little bit. I just literally went twice around it, and this is what it came out. It's a beautiful gold, and I'm gonna put it on my eye. I have in the past have used a brush, and it just doesn't come out the same, so that's why I use my finger. And I just put it all over. I don't go up to my brow bone. I just do it on the lid as to where my eye would kind of open up, that crease. And then, oh, I just love that. Okay, so I'm gonna do the other side. Again, to just where it's creasing. And then I also like to do it where my tear duct is. And you can bring it down as much as you want. And then whatever's left, I kind of just look up, like I would applying like eyeliner. I look up and I just kind of swipe it just so there's a little bit of shimmer on the bottom. So, and you can dab if you feel like you need a little bit more. So just enough to get a little bit of some color underneath your eyes. And honestly, like mostly for every day, this is usually what I'm doing lately. And then of course adding some mascara. But since we're trying to achieve a little bit of extra New Year's glow, we're gonna go a step further and add a little bit of darkness to kind of make a smoky eye. So this is my Morphe palette. I got this at Ulta. This is the 25B, and I love it because this is so my color palette. And there's lots of browns, and there's all, I mean, you can do, I mean, here's your base, and then here's a dark brown. It's not black, but it's dark enough to get that deep smoky eye without using a black. So I'm going to use this palette, and I'm going to take this brush. It is, oh good gracious, I'm having bad luck with this is by It Brushes by Ulta. You can see Ulta is like one of my favorites. And it's just this brush, and it's thin like this. You can use any brush to really get the powder on. But I'm going to use this color right here. That's that dark color. And very lightly, because it is very pigmented. And I'm going to go on the outside and just very gently apply the color on there, not going past your pupil. And you're just going to apply some color on each side. And you can already see like the smoky eyes coming together. Now there is going to be some blending here, so don't be alarmed about the line that's happening. Okay. Okay. So now I'm going to have you grab this brush. This is the Morphe M330, and this is a crease blending brush. And you're gonna just kind of take some of the brown color that we did and simply just kind of smudge it into your crease of your eye. Very lightly. As you can see, I'm using this at the end of, I'm using the brush, I'm holding it at the end of the brush. That gives a little bit more of a fuzzy kind of loose, what would you call it? Grip. And so it makes it easier for blending. You're gonna go on both sides. And once you get this top crease blended, you're just gonna kind of very gently, as I'm, like I said, holding at the end, and you're just gonna kind of smudge these two together. Very gently. Okay, now this is my eyelids are completely done. I didn't go crazy like I've done in the past, but that's okay because I didn't want that. You're gonna go back to this brush and you're gonna, or even better actually, if I have it with me, which I probably don't, but this is fine because this is what I would normally do anyways. You're just gonna take a little bit of the color. If you're super skilled and know your pressure of your brushes onto your face and you know that, then this is fine. Then you know that I'm going to be doing the under eye. That's the point. And I know that I can do this with a certain amount of pressure. There are brushes out there, like it's a tiny smudger brush. It's like about this wide, maybe like 1/4 of an inch, and it's this thick. And it's supposed to be for smudging the under eye, applying eyeshadow and smudging it. But I don't have it with me right now. And so I also know my pressure of my hand to my face with certain brushes, so I can achieve different looks using one brush. You don't need a ton of brushes to accomplish it. That's another thing that I really have learned in the past year is you don't need a whole 400 piece makeup palette. I mean, I've had some makeup sets in the past, or not palette, makeup sets for brushes. You don't need that. I've really have learned to only get a couple and really how to utilize certain things without spending all of your money on a nice makeup palette or makeup set, brush set. I will say it is nice to have, and I'm not against it. It's just, I know I've been learning how to be frugal and utilize what I already have rather than spending all the money on something that I could still use something else with. Okay, so that's the makeup look, the eyeshadow look that I would do. Now I'm going to do the mascara. You can also do your fake eyelashes if you want. I'm not going to be doing fake eyelashes, so I'm just going to apply my primer and my mascara. You're going to think it's funny because I only have travel sizes of these, but I use the L'Oreal Luminous Primer Base, and I'm going to put that on my eyelashes. Now, since I don't generally use fake eyelashes all that much, I love using this base because it is the extra like oomph I need to get my eyelashes looking a little extra other than using the lashes. I love this stuff. I actually have been using this stuff since high school. There was a time where I wasn't using primer, and that's fine, but I remember using this stuff in high school, and I remember liking it, and then I just forgot about it. I don't know why. And then I remember I used it again, and then I got a sample of it somehow, probably in one of those makeup subscriptions. And that's why I'm using this one, is just to kind of use it up a little bit. My nose is so runny today. And you can always put it underneath if you want. You don't have to use the primer underneath your eyes. You could just use mascara. But I like my eyes to pop, so. And so, oh, this is a mascara. This is the Maybelline Lash Sensational Black Mascara. And I've been using this too. It's not clumpy. It looks like this. And I don't know what it is about this one. I have used a ton of mascara. I get a ton of samples of mascara, and this is my favorite one. I've used all sorts of different brands, from Chanel to Estee Lauder, from L'Oreal. As you know, the other brand is L'Oreal, and so this one is Maybelline, and I like this one, and it's not hard to get off either, which is nice, because at night I'm exhausted from chasing my kids around and, you know, and helping them, and so this is nice to have. It's a nice, good product. Okay, now you're gonna do underneath your eyes. Okay. Also, I'm going to do the waterline, which you should technically do this before your mascara, but it just didn't happen today, to be honest with you. I just forgot, because mom life. And you're gonna go on your waterline just like this. Now, being very careful, you don't want to make sure it's sharp, because if there's any, like, you know, rough edges from, like, you know, it's a pencil, then you're gonna hurt your eye, and we don't want that. So just be very careful. And you're just gonna go on your waterline. Now, this is the Urban Decay Waterline Color Black 24-hour. And this stuff is amazing. I love it so much. And even just that alone makes your eyes pop. So this is the Urban Decay 24/7. Open up, see, I use it a lot, so that's why it's sharpened. 24/7 waterline, and this is the color Legend. It's basically black. And this just gives the extra glam look that I'm always looking for. And they have, in a different brand, there's the white waterline, and that also makes, it's called Fake Awake, and it really does make your eyes pop. I'll do that in a different video, but for today, this is the black one, and it just really kind of blends the whole eye together. Now, last but not least, my brows, because I know my brows look a little shady right now. So I'm going to use the Ka-Brow by Benefit. This is the color 4. It's dark brown. And I don't use a lot of this. I don't go crazy ham on my brows. I don't do the whole arching, contouring, all that. I'm just not obsessed with my brows. I know that's kind of like the end thing right now, but it's just not me. So I do try to keep my brows waxed as much as possible, but sometimes they just get away from you. And so you're just gonna, I'm very gentle, like gentle, very gentle touch. And I'm gonna very gently, again, kind of holding it at the end, just gonna go and kind of just create some definition. I'm very much a natural eyebrow person. I I just like how it's natural. I don't need to, you know, have the stuff, this section, you know, fluffed up and, you know, I'm just not, that's just not who I am. So I'm not gonna force it. And I just do the same on this side and just kind of just define what's naturally there. And that's what I like, because I do like natural beauty. And I'm just gonna very lightly kind of create an arch. The illusion of an arch would be there. And just make it light. If you ever get something that's too dark with this stuff, then I go back and take this brow pencil or brow brush and just kind of diffuse that line a little bit. Just because it kind of just, like I said, it diffuses it, makes the line not so harsh. Because I know that's really what's in right now, but it's just not something that's sticking with me. So maybe someday. Okay. Now, this is what I would do. This is like my completed look. If you want to be a little extra, then you can go ahead and take the Urban Decay Space Powder, and it looks like this. It comes in a little brush, has a brush on the back, so if you already have this product and didn't know this, there is a brush on just about any sort of palettes like this that has one solid color. The body luminizers usually have a brush behind them, so go and check to make sure. Let's see if I can find mine. Yep, here it is. So it's gonna look like this, and you're gonna take it and you can apply just a little bit extra, just for an extra shimmer. I'm gonna show you how shimmery it actually, there it is. So, I mean, it's just a little extra, and I actually use this a lot to enhance any other matte shades that I have, because sometimes I like the shades, but there's no shimmer to it, and sometimes I want a little extra shimmer, and this is perfect just for that extra pop of light. So that is what I would do. I haven't quite figured out what I'm going to do with my hair yet in concerning of New Year's. It's probably going to look this. I like the whole ponytail, curly look, and of course I have my hair wrapped around the ponytail to hide the ponytail holder. But for makeup wise, this is what I'm going to be doing tomorrow night when I am celebrating. So I hope you guys like the video. I know it's kind of more in depth than what I normally do, but that's okay. We want details. If you have any other ideas of what you'd like to see in the future in 2020 for videos, please let me know. Comment below. And also, I would really, really love it if you would subscribe to my channel. I have some big goals that I'm achieving this year, and without you, it won't be possible. So please like, share the video, and subscribe. That would help me out a lot. So I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video.